water, earth, fire, air.
Francs, the in-game currency of guts and Blackpowder. You earn it from staying alive, surviving waves, and doing excessive tasks. Today is going to be a guide on how to obtain a large majority of Francs the easiest way possible. I'd just like to start off and state that this is subject to change and it may not be as accurate as illustrated. However, with that in mind, here's the statistics. Completing large-scale maps rewards the player with 100 plus Francs. For example, Copenhagen rewards 125 Francs for completing the map in one life. San Sebastian is 100, although if you opt to lower the platform for the players, you'll also be rewarded 100. However, the remaining players must complete the map. And Roscoff is currently unknown as it's set as a placeholder. However, based on the scale of the map and the difficulty it possesses, I'm making an assumption of 135 Franc. Now moving on to the smaller maps such as Leipzig, you'll only be rewarded 80 Francs, Vardeho only 50 and Corbion only 50. Basically, the larger the map, the more Francs, the more you survive, the more Francs, etc. Not only this, but by contributing towards the team and saving a single teammate via runner, viral or shamblers, you'll be rewarded 0.5 Francs. Now, once again, this is based off of assumption due to none of this information being accessible. However, I say 0.5 as opposed to 1 or 2 because most of the time when you've saved around 10 teammates, you're rewarded incredibly low Francs. For example, if you saved 10 teammates and completed a map in one life such as Leipzig, you're rewarded around 90 Francs. Whereas if I base the assumption around 1 or 2, well, you're doing 10 Francs or 20 Francs from saving 10 teammates. Therefore, it just seems more logical to place it at a lower placement. So, hi, it's EditZGP here. Basically, I f***ed that piece of information drastically. So, I found out that 3 Francs are given from saving a teammate from a runner out viral, and 2 Francs from a shambler. So, completely ignore all that information I just said, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyways, back to the video. Moving on to the Chaplain. With the recent infection update, blessing teammates has become more essential. However, by using the blessing book in order to cure a teammate's infection, will reward you with 2 Francs per blessing. However, and I cannot stress this enough, when using the Book of Divinity, by blessing a player who is not infected, you will not obtain any Francs, meaning the player must be infected in order for you to get your Francs from a blessing. As well as the blessing, the crucifix also has some sort of Franc input. By fully using the exorcism crucifix or the normal crucifix, you'll be obtaining 1 Franc. Yeah, I'm not joking, 1 singular Franc. Like, what's the point of using the power of Christ just for him to give you 1 Franc? However, granted, it doesn't give much, but for a class that only has the steak or a delicious leg at its disposal, 1 Franc from a full use and 2 from a blessing isn't as bad for one class. By becoming the Surgeon class and opting to heal players, every heal you do will add plus 2 Franc to the player. Now, this can be essentially cheesed by healing a player until supply has been negated from the Surgeon's medical supplies, cancelling the heal, then prompting the player to heal again. If the player has had another supply deducted from the medical supplies, then the reward is plus 4 Francs from 1 player. I've done a full in-depth guide about this already, so I'll leave a link for it here. Now, Francs isn't determined via the length of time it takes for a player to be healed, which personally I believe it should be the case, but that's a video for another time. However, with this information in mind, it's better to use the medical supplies as opposed to the extended surgeon kit in order to maximize your Francs, as using the extended surgeon kit takes longer to heal but heals players more, as opposed to healing players faster but using more supplies. Now, I have little to no idea how the Francs earn in holdout works, but there's so many different variables to be considered, such as building the bridge, placing the logs, knocking the logs into place, completing the map, on top of all the other options which are available. It is literally impossible to work out how much you obtain. It does state on the wiki that you can get up to 200 Francs, which I have no idea if it is true or not, but because I've never come across that, I'm just basing it off the fact it's literally stated on the wiki. Now, there are many different ways you can earn Francs. The classes have been discussed, surviving ways and campaigns give you a lot, and so on. But what is the best so-called strategy for earning Francs? Well, this is all down to personal preference. However, I highly advise the Chaplain or Surgeon. These 2 classes are the 2 major Franc generators that support the team as well as your bank account. Now, I would just want to add that playing on large-scale maps is your best advantage and surviving until the end. Primarily maps like San Sebastian or Roscoff, only because I hate Copenhagen. Seriously, I hate it. Just remove the map. It isn't even fun to play. It's just soul crushing for... Anyways, if you're not the biggest fan of campaigns, you can opt to play Endless. Now this will be important for your Franc earner. Dying in any wave will lose a percentage increase of Franc. It is like very near impossible to find out what sort of decrease in Franc earning is made from dying, but from a lot of testing, and I mean a lot, you earn 5 Francs every 5th wave, meaning from wave 1 to 5 would be 10, from wave 5 to 10 would be 15, and so on. However, if you die anywhere between those 5 waves, meaning 1 to 5 if you die on wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, you do not get any Francs, and that goes for all the blessings, healings, and crucifix uses you did. Therefore, staying alive is crucial. Now, in terms of strategy, I don't know if it can be classified as cheese, but if you get a buddy to walk into the fire enough for you to heal whilst using the extended surgeon kit, it classifies as a heal. However, you won't lose any supplies. Now, the rest of your team can deal with the zombies whilst you and your buddy grind for money. Both of you have to be medics, and both of you have to live from wave 1 to maximize your Francs. Now, in terms of strategy, that is the best strat I have found, as by repeating this until wave 20 will reward more Francs than completing any large scale map. Granted, it is a little time consuming, but if you want that air rifle, you gotta do what you gotta do. However, not only this, but I highly suggest doing this strategy within hardcore, as you basically double your Francs. Now, the only downside is the infection, because one bite is literally life and death. I say this is better than completing any large scale campaign map, as your Francs doubles in Endless, whereas they don't double in the campaign map. For example, completing a campaign map in one life rewards you 100 Franc. In hardcore, it rewards 125. However, completing the 5th wave gives you 10 Francs, whereas in hardcore it rewards you 20. Now, combine this with using the priest or surgeon, you'll be earning around 20 Franc on top of the wave bonus. Bear in mind, if you heal or bless 5 people, that is. This is because the Francs earned from classes also doubles, meaning you'll be earning 4 Franc from every blessing and heal, as opposed to 2 in normal mode. Now, I would just like to point out that this guide is not in depth. This only covers the outstanding factors that give an ease of access for players. Personally, I do think it needs to be a little bit reworked, as there is a little bit of inaccuracy. That's probably on my part for not understanding how the Franc system works in depth, but other than that, it is a logistical system that works and rewards players for their hard work. Anyways, thanks for watching, I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, no, don't go that way either. Vincent! Out of all of that, 4 people survived. What